Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos kicks off her journey tonight on ABC. Many fans are wondering if she will find love. A part of that is her being able to get past loving someone new after losing her husband to pancreatic cancer. Jerry Turner felt that his wife would support him in finding love when he was the Golden Bachelor. So many wonder if Joan feels she has her deceased husband's blessing as well. Keep reading to find out what she had to say about it. Does Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos have her husband's blessing? Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos has been talking about finding love as she kicks off her season Wednesday night on ABC. Ahead of her premiere, she has been opening up about looking for a second love. She revealed to Extra whether or not she feels she has her late husband's blessing to move on. Joan lost her husband John to pancreatic cancer 3 years ago. While it was hard, and in the moment she was angry at him for even discussing it, Joan did get his blessing to move on and find love again. Joan said, "Right before he passed away, we had a conversation that he really wanted to have. I didn't. I was still in denial that he was going to die. He actually died 3 days later, but he told me to find somebody. He said, 'You're the greatest wife. We had a wonderful marriage. You have a lot of living left to do. I want you to go find somebody. Do not mourn my loss for the rest of your life. Go out and find somebody.' So I had his blessing even though at the time, I didn't want to hear it." She went on to say that at the time she was angry, but now she sees it as the perfect gift. She loves that she was able to hear him tell her it was okay to move on. Joan knows how much he loved her and that he would never want her to be unhappy. What is she looking for? Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos also revealed what she is looking for on her journey. One thing she would like is to find someone who can be adventurous. She clarified that her husband John could be, but it wasn't really something she was looking for at the time. Now, she's at the age where she wants to live life and enjoy what she has worked hard for. What do you think about Joan revealing that her husband did give her his blessing to move on and find love again? Stay tuned for more updates. Joan Vassos, the first ever Golden Bachelorette, embarks on a journey filled with hope, emotions, and the possibility of finding love again. As the show kicks off on ABC, fans across the country are eager to see if Joan will find a new partner after the devastating loss of her husband to pancreatic cancer 3 years ago. The central question on many minds is whether Joan feels she has her late husband's blessing to move forward and open her heart again. This emotional dynamic adds depth to Joan's quest for love. Much like Golden Bachelor Jerry Turner, who believed his late wife would want him to find happiness again, Joan faces a similar challenge. The answer to this question, in Joan's own words, offers not only a glimpse into her emotional readiness, but also a profound message about love, loss, and healing. Before Joan Vassos could even consider stepping into the role of the Golden Bachelorette, she had to come to terms with the death of her husband, John. They had been married for decades, sharing a life full of love and companionship. Losing him to pancreatic cancer was the most heart-wrenching moment in her life. For Joan, the idea of loving someone new seemed far-fetched, especially in the early stages of grief. However, as time passed and she reflected on the final conversations she had with John, Joan realized something that would ultimately allow her to move forward. In a candid interview, Joan shared a deeply personal story that occurred just days before John passed away. "Right before he passed away, we had a conversation that he really wanted to have, but I didn't," Joan recalled. "I was still in denial that he was going to die. It was a moment filled with raw emotion. Joan was not ready to say goodbye, much less discuss the idea of life without him. But John, knowing his time was limited, had other plans. He wanted to make sure Joan understood that his love for her transcended time and death. He didn't want her to feel chained to his memory or live in perpetual grief. He told me to find somebody," Joan said. "He said, 'You're the greatest wife. We had a wonderful marriage. You have a lot of living left to do. I want you to go find somebody. Do not mourn my loss for the rest of your life. Go out and find somebody." John's words were both a blessing and a challenge. In that moment, Joan wasn't ready to hear them. In fact, she admitted she was angry. "At the time, I didn't want to hear it," she said. "I was still holding on to hope that maybe, just maybe, he could survive this." But 3 days later, John passed away, and Joan was left to navigate a new world without him. In the aftermath of his death, Joan's emotions were a whirlwind. She mourned, grieved, and at times resented the conversation John had pushed her to have. But as the years passed, she began to see it differently. "Now, I see it as the perfect gift," Joan explained. "It's the most selfless thing he could have done. To tell me it was okay to move on, that was love." John's blessing wasn't just permission. It was a profound act of love that allowed Joan to open her heart again, not only for herself, but for the memory of the man she had loved and lost. With her late husband's blessing, Joan now feels ready to embark on this new chapter of her life. But the question remains, what is she looking for in a new partner, and will she be able to find it? As the Golden Bachelorette, Joan Vassos is opening herself up to the possibility of finding love in her later years. However, this search for love is different from the kind she experienced in her younger years. Joan is at a stage in life where she knows exactly what she wants and is not willing to settle for anything less. One of the things Joan desires in a partner is a sense of adventure. Reflecting on her marriage to John, Joan shared that while her husband was wonderful in so many ways, adventure wasn't something she was particularly looking for at the time. "John could be adventurous," Joan explained, "but it wasn't something that mattered to me back then. We were building a life, raising a family, and working hard. That was our focus." Now, however, Joan has entered a different phase of life. With her children grown and her career behind her, Joan is ready to embrace the freedom she has worked so hard to achieve. She wants to live life to the fullest, enjoy the fruits of her labor, and share that joy with someone who has a similar zest for life. "I want someone who can appreciate the simple things, but also be open to new experiences," Joan said. "I've worked hard all my life, and now I want to enjoy it." This sense of adventure doesn't necessarily mean skydiving or extreme sports. For Joan, it's about being open to trying new things, exploring new places, and embracing the beauty of life's unpredictability. "I want someone who is curious, who loves to learn and grow," Joan explained. At this stage of life, it's not about grand gestures. It's about being able to find joy in every day and share that with someone. While adventure is important to Joan, so is a deep emotional connection. Joan knows what it's like to have a loving and supportive partner, and she is looking for someone who can match that level of emotional depth. "I had a wonderful marriage," Joan said, "and I'm not looking to replace John. I'm looking for someone who complements who I am now, someone who understands that I have a history, but that I'm also ready to create new memories." Joan's journey on the Golden Bachelorette isn't just about finding love. It's about honoring her past while embracing her future. She's ready to take the lessons she learned from her first marriage and apply them to a new relationship, one that will allow her to continue growing, learning, and loving. As Joan prepares to meet the men vying for her heart, the blessing her late husband gave her looms large over her journey. It's both a source of comfort and a reminder of the love she once had. John's words have freed Joan to move forward without guilt, but they also serve as a benchmark for what she is looking for in a new partner. She wants to find someone who can live up to the love she shared with John, while also bringing something new and exciting to the table. The fact that Joan's journey is unfolding on national television adds another layer of complexity. Unlike many other widows or widowers who go through this process privately, Joan's search for love is happening in front of millions of viewers. While this can be daunting, Joan feels confident that she is ready for this challenge. "I've had 3 years to grieve," Joan said, "and now I'm ready to live again." Joan's story is one of resilience, love, and the courage to start over. As she steps into the spotlight as the Golden Bachelorette, she carries with her the memory of her late husband and the knowledge that he would want her to find happiness again. For fans of the show, Joan's journey promises to be one of the most emotionally charged and inspiring seasons yet. Will she find the adventurous, emotionally available partner she's looking for? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, Joan has her late husband's blessing, and she's ready to open her heart once more.